Welcome to the DYSON'S Effect.
A show about everyday situations, issues, and topics we talk about and give our opinions.
We may even listen to yours.
We are your hosts, Johnny
and Theresa,
also known as Mr. and Mrs. Dyson.
This is Johnny.
And this is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the
DYSON'S Effect.
Get your mic right. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good.
How you looking? How you feeling?
I'm good.
How you looking? What you look like? I am freezing. You messed up my workout.
But the air is only on upstairs, so you worked out downstairs, so I'm not sure how that worked.
No, because I wanted to. The air travels. It ain't like it just stayed up here. No. So, we got an interesting topic. You seen this on social media?
It's just on my phone. I don't know. This one said a whole bunch of topics. So.
Is you talking about yourself? Does this relate to you?
No.
Sure. Did you did work out today? So, what's the topic?
How did you word it?
Yeah, okay. Swing and a miss by Sosha. I forgot. I literally forgot.
Hold on.
What kind of woman says she doesn't need a man? Was that it?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Yes, that is it. What kind of woman says that she doesn't need a man?
Mm-hmm.
Excluding sexual orientation, right? Apparently, a woman that's in a woman will say that.
Right.
So, because people would throw all type of monkey wrenches into our conversation. So, what type of woman says she doesn't need a man? Now, growing up, have you heard this before?
Mm-hmm. I still hear it to this day. Especially more and more that women are starting businesses, having successful businesses, making their own millions and things like that. You hear it a lot more. So, yeah.
So, this is more of a woman thing. So, I'm building this around women, and I want to ask this again. When you was coming up, you didn't get any advice on men.
No.
So, but you got insight on how to act being around a man. Somewhat. For example, like when you get a man, you do this and you do that, but not like. The faces you making are priceless.
I guess. Yes and no. That wasn't.
Like, did you hear certain things when you was young? Or was it like literally? Because, like, and the reason. So, for example, like, when you're around older women, you hear them say stuff, you be like, oh, I ain't never think of it because you're young. Or was like, look here, let me tell you, this how it go. Because that's two different things.
No, I think I just kind of, figured it out on my own, honestly. so I slap you at night and stuff like that. So.
Push you out the bed. You know you be snoring. But
So no, I don't think I.
So for example,
But
your older sister.
I don't remember a lot of mine.
Your older sister. Let's go down. Look. Your older sister never gave you any information on men in general.
No, no. I would say I'm the oldest sister. So no.
Separate topic. Your aunts. Your older aunts. Uncles. So you do have a good relationship with your oldest brother, Dashe, which we talked about before.
He used to just say dang shit, like, don't.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's from a man's perspective. Like, it's understandable for you to take it from a man's perspective and you to listen. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the topic is, what type of woman says she doesn't need a man? Mm-hmm. So did you see any strong women coming up? Because that's mostly a strong woman that would say it. Do you see any strong woman coming? I got one. This is good one. I got a family member that said when she was young, she wanted to be like one of our aunts. Because she just thought that our aunt had it going on. Our auntie, she had it going on. She had this, she had that, she had this. And she just thought she was just always like a person to aspire to be. Did you have that someone in your family somewhere along the line?
My Aunt Pat was always somebody that you had a good job and always had it. And see, I wouldn't say a strong woman says she doesn't need a man. I feel like a weak woman, a weak-minded or a hurt woman, or someone that's been hurt by many, many, many boys grow up to say she don't need a man. I think those are the kind of women that are saying they don't need a man, because if you've dated or you've been married and you've been cheated on, hurt, whatever, beat on, disrespected, whatever may be the case in that relationship, I feel like you were never dealing with a man. Yes, he may be a man in age, but is he a man, mentally? Like, has he grown up? Is he still doing boy things, but his age classifies him as a man?
Interesting.
So I think women that yell that are women that's been hurt in their past, women that has never had a real man in their life, so they think all of the men or that they are going to run into are going to be like the past relationships they may have had. So they kind of automatically let those couple relationships or that marriage kind of ruin it for anybody else to come in and change their mind. Their mind is already made up because they've been hurt. So in their mind, it's, I don't need a man. I can do this on my own. I can do this. I can do that. But can you really do all those things on your own? Yeah, you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you can go buy any and everything you want. You can pay your bills. You can get you a new car. You can do all that. But a man can provide you with a little bit more. Yeah, you can use a dildo, but who want to keep doing that? I don't even understand why people do that. But hey,
that's a separate topic.
Yeah, to each his own.
Separate topic. But so the reason why I said that majority of strong women say that is because they have done so much on their own already. So they're like, I can do this and do this by myself. What do I need a man for? Like, a man can't do nothing for me right now if he can't do A, B, C, and D, and I'm doing this on my own. So what I need a man for? Like, I hear a lot of that, and I know I'm trying not to put so much into this. the women that says that, they are more affluent, right? They have more. I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to throw it out because it relates. More women are doing, to me, in my opinion, women are doing more than men. More so black women. And black women are doing so good. It was something that I heard when I was young, before I got to the high school. My homeboy Buki and J Boo, they sit me down and we was talking. They like, "You gonna go to school?" This and they like, "Man, Johnny, go to school, man. You smart. You ain't like all them other dudes. He's like, you smart, man. You smart." He said, "You wanna know how you can go to school?" This was some good and bad information. Take it how you wanna take it. They like, "You know how you can go to school? Stick with them girls." He said, "Girls always be in school. Girls always smart. Girls are smarter than dudes. Dude, you see what we out here doing?" No lie, that's what he said. He said, "You see what we out here doing?" He said, "Look, you want to get you some girls? Stick with them girls." He said, "You ain't got to be messing with them and them like that." It's probably one of the realest information I ever heard. I'll never forget this. He said, "Stick with them girls, man. Girls gonna always be in school. Girls always smart. They always doing their work. They always doing their homework. It be them dudes that don't be doing nothing." And that always stuck with me. So, even though it's different, I got to college. But if you think about it, educational wise, black women has always been leading the pack. They always been leading the pack. Before the big push that's going on for black women right now, they've always been leading since I can remember, as far as educational wise, as far as some of the top CEOs and vice president of companies. Now they might be only getting their flowers now, but they always been leading as far as what they can accomplish and the things that they've done. And it's because also they've had, for lack of better words, maybe a chip on their shoulder because of how they've been discriminated against the most, being that they're a double or triple minority, depending on how people look at it. So, being that they've been leading so much, they built all their accolades. They built all this things that they've accomplished. They are CEO of this company, vice president of this company. They're running their own company. I was reading this article about this black lady that was a CEO. I want to say it was in Black Enterprise or it was in Forbes. And she was working for a beauty company. And the company that she was working for said that they didn't want to give her a raise or something that she knew that she was qualified for. And she knew she was the head leader. And it was either a raise or another position. And he just didn't want to give it to her. And they didn't give her no reason. No reason at all. They didn't give her any reason or why they just didn't give it to her. So she said right after that, she started her own company, competing with them, beat their sales, started seeing them in the sales rooms and all that stuff when they got to congratulate companies in this beauty industry, and they started seeing her, and she was thanking them for this and thanking them for that, because without them, they put the fire in her butt to do it. But one of the things that she said that really stuck out to me, that's that was really, man, that was hard. She said one of the things that they tried to take away was my sweat equity. You can't put a price tag on the sweat equity I put in this company, and I know I could take it and put it in my own. And whew, that's a cold line. The sweat equity. That means all your hard work is like equity in the business. Think about that. You put all this work in there, and it's like equity. This is what it takes to run this. Boom. I know you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that, and you're reputable. And not just that, you're known for working for this company, and you got a reputation already. So how she broke it down, it just, it's just sweat equity. She was just talking about you can't put a price tag on, so she went and got another partner, and they blew it up. It was a male figure she went and got another partner with. And literally, they blew it up. And I'm saying all that to say, she did it all on her own, almost. You could argue that she don't need a man. She could make that same argument that, I don't need a man like these companies did. I got sweat equity in what I do. Like, so if a man come to her based on everything that she has, based on everything that she did, I mean, he got to be a CEO now. You see what I'm saying? Now, you see, I'm
obviously, you don't. You want a man that is to your caliber, especially when you hit a certain age. Like, right. you ain't finna go get nobody that's working at Walmart and you know, making millions over here. So obviously, when you get to that certain stature in your life, you do want someone that is equal, if not equal, more, or, you know, on its way to being where you are. Obviously, that's just, my thing is to say that you don't need a man. So I know everybody is not meant to be married. I'm not saying have someone you can be with somebody forever and never be married. Like, you can still find somebody to grow old with. So my thing is, you don't feel like you need that companionship. You don't feel like you need someone you can rely on or lean on if things get hard, or, you know, a shoulder to cry on. Yeah, you can have your girlfriends, but your girlfriends is not always there because they are doing things. They have their own life. They may even have their own family. So they're not, they wouldn't be available for you like a companion. You know, your significant other would be there for you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to be emotionally tied to anybody. I get the money aspect of it. I get the, you know, you're successful without them. But beyond that, companionship, you know, have somebody that you can cuddle up with, or, you know, go to the movies with, or, you know, just things like that is what I'm saying. And some may say, well, I can just have a side piece or somebody that, you know, but that's cool too. But how long is that going to last? You know, because when you're dealing with someone for so long, you start to deal with feelings, whether you want to admit it or not. Somebody's going to catch feelings. And then how long is that just going to be just a friend relationship?
Right.
So that's my thing. Like, you don't need a man to become successful. No, I'm not saying that. But the other reasons, like companionship and things like that, like, you don't want to have that because of a past relationship that you were dealing with a boy or someone that was not owning up to be a man. Let that ruin the chances that you may be even finding your soulmate, just because you have that mentality of, I don't need a man for nothing.
I don't need a man.
But then go out to the club and probably, or wherever you're at, and upset because nobody's approaching you. But you have it in your head that, yeah, you don't need a man. So why you looking for somebody to approach you?
You get what you, and it's a lot of women like that.
Yeah.
That be claim, or let's go the other way around. They claim that there's no good men around, and be having the stankiest attitude. Where we was at, and the dudes was like, all these girls got their ugly face on. They be looking mad and all this stuff. Like, a lot of people think that's not a thing. Like, it's girls that look mad all the time, or they mad at something, or they go out and like, it's places where girls are not smiling and are not happy. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, they wear their attitude on their face all the time, or what they're going through on their face. But I'm going to adjacent this comment that I made before when I said with this. Women that says they don't need a man possibly also has the you ain't my daddy syndrome, as I call it. The you ain't my daddy syndrome is how women be quick to tell a dude, you ain't my daddy. You can't tell me what to do. Or I'm grown now. I'm grown. You can't, I'm grown. I'll do what I want to do. Women that usually say that, they try to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, stiff on not bending on how they feel and their rules, and they gonna do what they want to do. They don't care this and this and that. So those women, they are very rigid, or, you know, a woman that says that she don't need a man, it's a few implications on that could be. Is it based on the things that she's been through? Is it based on the things that she's seen? Because a lot of time, if I'm speaking on the behalf of man, as I said before, a lot of times men are scumbags. That's one, right? Sometimes us men has treated women so bad over a woman's life, and it may not be hers in particular. It may she done seen it, like this dude done beat this woman, this dude done did this, and like I don't need no man to do. If that's what a man is, I don't need it. You see what I'm saying? From that perspective, like this, he done stole the money, or we grew up in economically impoverished cities, projects, stuff like that. And it's something to think about. I was thinking about this the other day too. What's successful marriage, not couple, marriage you seen in the projects?
Because, what do you mean, like coming up? Or?
Period. Because a man couldn't be in a household.
Yeah.
So no one was married living in any projects, because eventually the man's gonna have to leave. So just think, majority, if not all, and people can say I'm wrong for this number. I'm going to say about 95% are single parents. So if there's 95% single parents in low income housing, projects, or what have you type of homes, none of them see successful households. I was just talking to somebody today, and he is originally from New York. I want to say Brooklyn or Bronx, whatever. Both B's in New York, I don't know. And he has a girlfriend here, and this is his first experience going into a home when the mother and father is there, and they taking him in, like they cooking for him and they talking to him, and he said for him, that's different. Like that's like you're like, wow, like because his mom still live in New York, and he was like, that's different. Like to see a family for one. For two, the husband was cooking. For three, for them to take him in. Like, hey, how you doing? Come on, let's talk. Talking to him he's like, that's odd. Like, we don't see that. And he's young. He's like 19, 20. He's like 19, 20 years old. So he's right around our son age. So just think about that. Like, that's still relevant and different not that long ago. So, if we're talking about people that grow up from those type of households, they don't see a good man, like a real good man. Nah.
I mean, I didn't see that either, so.
Which is one of my points.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess as you get older. So for me, I wanted things and to do things that I wasn't accustomed to, I guess.
Give me an example.
Like the way I take care of the kids, the how we live, always keeping a decent job at least, I think. Yes. I just for me, like raising my kids in low income or the projects on food stamp, that just wasn't what I wanted to do. Because that's all I've known. That's all that's around me. That's all, So for me, it's got to be something better. I got to do something better. My mom being single, never married, it's got, not saying being married is better, but
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's just I wanted to raise the kids in a 2-parent home.
Why? I know why. I know what you're saying. Try to go a little bit deeper. This is why. Why did you want different from what you've seen?
Because I didn't want to be that same trend. I didn't want to be put in that same category as, oh, she's just following her mom's footsteps, or, I wanted to be basically trying to break generational curses.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
as we said before, there's generational people still living in the project.
Right.
Like their mama, their grandma,
Right.
their mamas, and all this stuff lived in the projects.
And I didn't want to, and no offense to nobody, because I wish they would give me some food stamps to this day, especially all the stamps they're giving out. But I'm saying is you use that as a stepping stone. You use that as to get help. You use that to elevate. You don't just keep doing it because that's all you know. Yeah, and because it's free and you don't have to work and you're going to get 800 stamps a month. And, you know, they may pay your rent. And I mean, that's fine and all, but I did that until we were married. Once we got married, that stopped.
I think you stopped before that. Way before that. We was in Columbus.
Yeah, we was in Columbus, but
Way before that.
I'm just saying, like, you just use it until you can get to a place where you no longer need it. And not just because you turning down jobs and you don't want to go to work because you're relying on the system. Because that's how they keep you trapped, per se. Yeah. So that was my thing. Like, I didn't want that. I knew that I could work. I knew that I could elevate in life. And I knew that I can provide better for my kids, as opposed to just saying I'm gonna stay in Michigan and live in this low income apartment, because if I don't work, my rent was $0.
So in parallel speaking, you have great uncles, right? That are good men. Mm-hmm. Would you say they were good men that you looked up to, like your favorite uncles when you was coming up? For example,
my uncle was a player.
Which one?
Johnny.
He was? Uncle Johnny was a player? Player, Uncle Johnny shouted.
He would have one woman come and one woman leave, the next one coming in.
Was he?
Yeah, he was bad.
Okay, Uncle Johnny. And what about Tim?
That's my cousin.
Okay, what about your cousin Tim? Tim crazy.
No, you know, Tim dealt with a lot of women.
Tim lay with a bell.
Yeah. That wasn't even all my uncles. All my other uncles are there too. Like they.
My grandma. So people don't know that I'm saying. Tell my grandma that passed. My grandma got a saying that if a dude or a woman, but in this case, most cases it was dude, that'll sleep with anything, her saying is he'll lay with a bear. Meaning something that can kill you. Like you'll lay down with anything. So she say, oh, he'll lay with a bear. Though y'all might not find it funny, but it is still hilarious to me, because a person will lay down with anything, something that will kill you. And some men, like her cousin Tim, we used to sleep with anything. And and the joke, Tim had it, the joke was he was sleep with anything. Like they didn't look like nothing. They'd be like they didn't look like nothing. He'll sleep with her just because he could. Like that's still hilarious.
But now he's married, so I think he's a better person now.
No, Tim is amazing. Tim is a good dude. I love Tim. So. Tim is a good dude. Tim is a great
back then,
guy. Yeah. Tim is.
But I mean, my uncle, and that's his son, so
yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
Great. So I tied all that in to say that those are the men you've seen. So you still wanted a good man, even though you didn't see it. And you did have a father. You did have a relationship with your father early on, mm-hmm. But that changed as you got older. Mm-hmm. Being that changed as you got older, it still didn't dampen you wanting a good man, for lack of better words, right?
Right.
So, I think, in my assumption, I think that the women that says, I don't need a man, the challenge is they haven't been challenged on their thoughts on not needing a man. Most women don't know what a real man is, or haven't seen one, or haven't experienced one, and they don't have a father, and they don't have any great uncles. Even for your brothers, your sister kids, I'm their Uncle Johnny. They call me Uncle Johnny, nonetheless, and they know I expect nothing but the best of them and so on. But I'm their Uncle Johnny. I don't treat them no kind of way, and I treat them like my own kids. Like I love them. I love all my nieces and nephews. I treat them like my own kids. But more so, they see how I treat you. Now they also, just like our kids, they never seen us argue. So that's what I mean. They take into that. So a lot of these women, they never seen a good man. Like, I remember a time when I think I just got you a purse or something a while back, and it was for your birthday or Mother's Day or something like that. It was like, he always getting you a purse, and then it was time you was getting rid of the purses, and they was like, "Ooh, I want that purse." Like, you had family members that wanted the purses that you was gonna give away at the time. Now, not for bragging rights or saying what I used to do for her, but they wanted how I took it. They wanted a piece of what we have in good spirits. Like, I know she take care of her stuff. I know Johnny give her good quality. I know my aunt is my Aunt Theresa, my favorite aunt, and she got a good purse, and she giving it to me with love. She's not throwing it away. That's how I took it. So these nieces and nephews, I'm just speaking on your behalf first. These nieces and nephews see the possibility of a good man. See, a lot of these women, they don't see the possibility of a good man. And they don't see the possibility of what could be if things are in better situations. Yes, things are bad. You spoke about if you a CEO of a company, you ain't gonna work for, you're not gonna get a man that's at Walmart or something like that. Case in point, I think Jill Scott had married a man that was a sanitation worker or something to this bag, right? And they got divorced. Not saying that money played anything in that, but what I will say is, were they on the same page mentally? Like, were they on the same page?
He might have cheated. I don't remember.
Probably. That's probably an issue too. But were they on the same page mentally? Like, I could be, because we've been together since we was young, so I don't want to put so much of money into it, because if this person make X amount of $1 million a year and this person making $75,000 or $100,000, they're not compatible. They could be compatible. It's just that, are they at the same place mentally? Because I know some people up here, they're very, very strong, but they don't make a lot of money, and they're fine with the money they make. And it's also all these, I want to say, a lot of rich people or people that have more money. A lot of them are on so much drugs and everything just to cope, because they got so much stuff going on trying to keep their money. Family members, this and that, this and that, this and that. Everybody trying to take from them. So mentally, are you in the same place? Because I can't think of the movie name. It's a good movie. How these two people can't think. Keanu Reeves is one of them. Is in it, and it's basically these two opposites attract. Is in the movie, and basically, you know, they're complete opposites. And there's tons of other movies like this before, but they meet on a simple level. They meet on a level to, like, they eye to eye. You know, even though he was all the way up here with this type of money he was making, he thought that she didn't make any money. Come to find out, she had a lot of money from a trust fund and was just living off a trust fund. And he thought she was weird because she didn't have a job, but she was living off her trust fund. Long story short, she ended up dying. But at the end of the movie, but I wanted to say, like, we sometimes have to see the possibilities so we can see it's possible. If you want to be a CEO, if you want to be an owner, if you want to own your own restaurant, you want to sell your own t-shirts, you want to see some type of great entrepreneurship, you got to start seeing it. You got to be around these people. Same thing when it comes to wanting a good man. If you don't see a good man and you end up thinking, like, you know, good man out here, if these are good men, I don't need no man. If this man that I've been being with been cheating on me, what I need a man for? All these dudes cheat. Or if my father left me, my father did this to my mother. My aunts, they don't know how to keep a man. My uncles ain't nothing. As we say before, your perception is your reality. What you perceive is your reality. And sometimes we see other things to give confirmation to keep believing what we believe, instead of looking out for another idea of what is and what isn't. Right? So if that is your thought,
did you go out there and challenge that? Did you go talk to your aunts and your uncles? I'm intuitive. I will go talk to my aunts, my uncles. I just found out one of my godmoms cheated on one of her husbands, and I didn't know she was married. So that's how long ago it was. I'm not even sure if I was born. That's how long ago it was. But we don't know, right? We don't know that. If you don't know that there's a good man out there, how do you know what a good man is?
Right. If you never had a good man, how can you say you don't need a good man?
And then think about this too. If you're a CEO of a company and you're a woman, and those are different kind of dudes that you're rubbing elbows with. Vice president of this, CEO of this, COO of this, founder of this company, venture capitalist money, seed money of this company. These are different kind of dudes. So when you say you don't want a man, sometimes those women get treated like one of the guys when they're with them. Kind of like you, right? Because you used to hang with your brothers or your older brother, and you used to see all the type of stuff they did. It just wasn't no money involved. If you think about it, right? That's quick. I'll put that together real quick. So you used to see how they used to treat girls. You used to see how they used to act with girls and so on and so forth. I mean, it's a woman that says she don't need a man,
but then go out to a club or to a bar and supposedly looking for a man. But when the man don't approach them, it's, it's probably why no one approached me, or I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, I just feel like a woman that says that has not been with the man. Like, I hear a lot of women be like, I can't depend on no man. And a lot of women is like, no, you can't depend on your man, but I could depend on my man. Right. So it just depends on what kind of man you with for you to even say that you can't depend. You shouldn't even be with no man that you can't depend on.
And then what are you depending on them for?
Yeah. I
mean, if you let's just say we take one of the top reasons, of course, is finances, right? People get a divorce over it. So let's just say we remove that. So emotional support, you can't depend on your man for emotional support. For spiritual support, if you guys believe in the same God, you can't depend on him for that. Mental support, building you up. Talking to you every day, sending you good texts, motivating you. You can't depend on him for that. I mean, because we're getting close to being too materialistic right now. I think that in the next few years, it's a lot of change finna go on. Because of the pandemic started it. Somebody made a joke. What was that joke they made that when they talk about all this that go on that went on, they said first it started from the chicken sandwich. So this pandemic is changed everything, but it's also changing the economy. So being that it's changed the economy is changing based on money, how much money people got to make, cost of living, jobs, so on and so forth. So with that being said, these times that we are in are being challenged. The materialistic things that we thought meant something before is going to mean nothing. I was just listening to an interview the other day, and they was talking about a house in California, a fixer-upper. I'm going to repeat this again. A fixer-upper in California costs $600,000. A fixer-upper, and that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, come on, man. And it's a shack. And the square footage is so small. Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, but Cali expensive.
So how do you? So the point I'm making is, how do you expect to find a good man when the cost financially, when the money is messed up there? And you know, I hear a lot of comedians, artists, they make a lot of jokes about how a girl will date you because what type of money you have out there, or a girl, or you can get any type of woman you want when you in this video, when you hang with this artist, and so on and so forth. That's all fake though, because that's based on that person thinking you have money. Mm-hmm. So what if you thinking that same simple mind state when it comes to marrying a person, right? And what if all them people in certain areas, and not just California, those cost of living is so high, and the finances is so messed up? That's what I'm saying. We take the finances out of it, and you say you still don't need a man. Maybe that's some internal thinking you need to think about there. Something going on inside to where you think you don't need a companion that can help pick up the pieces where they may be lost at. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if we think about when I was young, one of my good friends, Carlos, and his little brother Tootie, they lived across the street. They was married. Down the street, Mr. Henry was married, but we never seen Mr. Henry. We only knew Miss Henry because Miss Henry lived across the street from Stern Brownson, and she knew our daddy. And long story short, my uncle ended up having a baby by her daughter. But anyway, as far as married couples on that street, Sandy and Ray, their mother and father stayed on the same street. And that is it on that one block that we was on. So, I think the challenge is that for a woman to say that, she got to see, where did she get those thoughts from? Are they valid? Who did she get them from? Like, maybe you need to change your dating pool. Dating in these times. Your dating pool. Like, do you know what a real man is? Like, really, 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 really think about it. Like, do you know what a man is? Like, do you know what a man is? Like,
I think when a woman says man, they just start looking at the exterior or the outside. They're not really looking within. They're just looking at, I don't need this man. I can use a dildo. I don't need this man. I can buy and bought my own house. Like, they're looking external instead of looking at what this man can provide for you, like internal, or what can he add, like Jay-Z said, what's better than one billionaire too? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think most women are just looking at, I don't need him to lay me, or I don't need him to give me sex, and as long as they make all these different kind of toys and penises, and I could do that on my own. I bought my own house, I bought my own car, I'm running my own businesses, and I think that they think that way. They don't really think too deep into it. They just feel like they don't need a man for those things, but they're not thinking the other things that a real man can provide for them, because they've been hurt, but they've not experienced a real man.
Some women really, 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 some women really are satisfied with their sex toys. Mm-hmm. Like, they're fine with it. They're fine with their sex toys. Like, they're fine. They don't need a man. Like,
and some women have been hurt by a so-called man to the point where they are basically ruined for the rest of their lives. Yeah, like, yes. They are scared to even open up or let their feelings get involved, even though they may like this person a whole lot. They just, that last person just did it for them, unfortunately. And it may not be nothing that nobody can do once their mind is made up. I would say not to let that past hurt control you, especially if they done moved on and they dating and they obviously they the one that hurt you, but still, like, you can't let that past relationship ruin you for the next. Or, you know, I feel like that they still have a hold on to you when they're not even in a relationship. They're still controlling you.
Yes, I agree.
So.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's gonna sum it up. I mean, I think basically that's what women need to do. That may say, I don't need a man. You need to challenge why you think that. And when did that start? Did that start after a breakup? Did that start based on what your daddy did to you? Did that start based on things that you've seen? And did you change your surroundings to go look elsewhere for that? Mm-hmm. Right? So if your father did that to you, did you go find a godfather? Did you go find a good uncle that's good to you now? Did you go find another male figure? You see what I'm saying? Did you be more open-minded to see if you can find something better than that? To know that, okay, maybe it is some good dudes out there. Or let's just say to confirm your belief, but you didn't do it with an open mind. Because a lot of times we think about that opinion that we have. It's not that you go out and one time, 2 times, 3. Okay, yeah, I did it 2 times, didn't work. Well, I did it 3 times. No. Did you do it at least 15 times? Mm-hmm. Did you do it at least 50 times? Right? Did you do it all these times and that was the same outcome? Right. Which more than likely you didn't, and it will not be the same outcome for so many people. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to challenge those thoughts and challenge where those thoughts come from. Did it come from your mother? Because sometimes women say these things and you grow up believing it. You know, it could be many things of where this thought come from, or where the seed was planted and it blossomed as you got older. Or it was an older aunt, was it a grandmother, whatever have it be. Was it things that you've seen, so on and so forth. The men that mistreated, the men that maybe beat you, was on crack or drugs or whatever. Where did this thought come from to make you think that this is a good idea to continue this thought? Mm-hmm. So, let's go sum it up. We're going to go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah, so I can go to bed.
Yes, your pastime. Yeah, well, last time the dude came fix the air, it was too hot in here. Now the air is on and it's too cold. So next time, the next episode, hopefully it's gonna be somewhere in the middle. But we're gonna tune in with another one with a great topic. Follow us on social media at the Dyson's Effect on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and email us at the Dyson's Effect at hotmail.com. And always, most definitely, for sure, this is Johnny.
And this is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the
Dyson's Effect.
Peace, love, blessings.